Pompeo and others saying they're leaving the door open to another summit, but in the meantime, they want sanctions enforced. Another voice calling for a more comprehensive solution, the so-called big deal, is National Security Advisor John Bolton. EG1 has this report.
The U.S. seems to be getting ready for what is expected to be a long struggle against North Korea over the regime's denuclearization. In recent days, the U.S. has been reiterating its stance on making a big deal on Pyongyang's denuclearization while maintaining its current pressure campaign on the regime. In an interview on Monday, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo stressed that sanctions on the regime will eventually bring another opportunity to denuclearize North Korea, and that Washington is working with other countries to build a coalition to keep the economic pressure on the North. National Security Advisor John Bolton also emphasized that Russia and China could do more to tighten up their enforcement of these sanctions in his interview with Fox News over the weekend. He also touched on the need for a big deal as past policies, the step-by-step approaches, which gave the North economic relief before they actually committed to denuclearization, have all failed. At the Hanoi summit, the U.S. proposed that the North should agree to a deal where they submit a specific plan to eliminate nuclear weapons programs as well as all weapons of mass destruction before the lifting of any sanctions. While the top U.S. officials indirectly pressure North Korea and its allies, they have made sure to keep the door open for a possible third summit between Kim Jong-un and President Donald Trump. But a North Korea expert says that this doesn't mean the ball is necessarily in the North Korean court, as they themselves have been clear on their stance that sanctions need to be partially lifted with step-by-step denuclearization measures.
These interviews are simply to take the blame off Washington should the talks fall apart. There's nothing new in them, and it's not like this will spark something in their dialogue with the North. The U.S. also wants to let others know that it is still open for dialogue instead of taking military measures.
And with Kim Jong-un stating the end of the year as a deadline, the expert says a current stalemate is expected to last quite long. 이지원, Arirang News.